New DC films are upon us, including Wonder Woman 1984, and now that Wonder Woman has taken on Ares, it's time for a new villain to slide into his place, hopefully one with more staying power. Though I believe this to be true, as the Cheetah persona is actually one of the oldest within the DC universe, and that is the villain we're going to be seeing in this new Wonder Woman film. Though Cheetah has been the codename for more than one supervillain over the years, the one we'll be seeing in the film and the one we'll be talking about here today is actually the second to adopt the mantle, Barbara Minerva, an archaeologist who came across the powers of the cheetah during a dig where she encountered the tree god Kartaga. Pledging herself to become his new bride, she was granted the powers of the cheetah by her new tree god husband. Barbara continues to be one of the most famous cheetahs around and is also known as a magical supervillain. And while you think you might be able to assume all the cat-like powers that she has, I bet there are at least a few that still might surprise you. Join me as we explore some of her lesser known powers and abilities as we count down the top 10 powers you didn't know Cheetah had. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Can control her tail separately. Basically, Cheetah's tail is like having another limb, and a long one at that. I know this might not sound like a super cool power, but just wait. Cheetah's tail isn't just used for agility and balance. She has also used it before to grab things away from her enemies, trip them up, knock them over, and strangle them. There's a lot of strangling that goes on with this tail, believe you me. And while a tail might seem easy to wrest your throat from, it turns out it's actually not that easy. Both Superman and Wonder Woman have struggled in its grasp before, fighting to get free of Barbara's strangle tail hold. What a move. I'll strangle you with my tail. The crazy part too is I feel like she always does it and then her hands are just like posing. Like there's not a lot of like I'll strangle you and then also blah, cut you. Number 9. Strength. People think of Barbara Minerva as Cheetah, they usually think of her agility, her stealth, and her speed, appropriately, as these are all things that cheetahs in nature are also known for. What people seem to forget is just how strong she is. Even writers seem to forget this when they make it possible for her to be beaten by Catwoman and Batman, who, let's be honest, are really not strong enough to tangle with her. With her power imbued by magic, she is a very strong and dangerous villain. We have seen her grapple with both Wonder Woman and Superman, and easily hold her own against Diana, even beating her from time to time. Though there are usually some extenuating circumstances surrounding these scuffles where she wins, but I digress. Still, the two have been judged to be almost equal when it comes to strength multiple times, including when we saw the two women in a tug of war involving Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Can I also just point out that Cheetah was both tangled up at the time and was only using one arm as well while she held off Diana's pull. That's insane. Like Diana's like, got both arms, Cheetah's like, I got this, I'm fine. Number 8. Speed. Force? Wait a minute, don't we all know this one? Well, I mean, you do. Yes, you know that she's fast, but do you know just how fast Minerva is? And wait, did Minerva ever have the Speed Force? Well, no, not exactly, but she's definitely been faster than a cheetah, and a cheetah can go up to 120 kilometers an hour, which is around 70 miles per hour for those of you who are watching us in the States. She's usually measured at the same speed as Wonder Woman, the two women being deemed even, but still behind in terms of levels of speed when compared to with Superman and all of the Flashes. At one point, however, Barbara wanted to become even faster, to beat Wonder Woman and rival the Flashes as a speedster herself. She reached out to Hunter Zolomon about this, and although he explained he couldn't just lend her speed or like just help her tap into the Speed Force or speed energy of any kind, because it doesn't work like that, he did offer to help her somewhat. He trained her and explained what was holding her back was actually psychological, and that she would have to kill the previous cheetah, Priscilla Rich, to move forward. It turned out he was right, and we saw an even faster version of the cheetah emerge after she killed Priscilla, one who was shown to almost rival Wally in speed in Volume 2, Issue 214 of Wonder Woman. That is until she kissed him. Don't ask me, just read the comic. I know there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, what do you mean until she kissed him? What does that mean? You gotta read it, it's confusing. Wonder Woman's in a blindfold, it's all nuts in that comic, man. There's a lot of questions I have. Number 7. Superhuman durability. Her durability goes beyond what you might expect when it comes to a supervillain with the powers of a cheetah. While being agile and dexterous enough to dodge blows, it seems that Barbara spends more time taking hits than dodging them. which when she's going up against members of the Justice League seems like a surefire way to get KO'd, and yet she manages to hold her own. She's durable enough to take a hit from Wonder Woman or Superman even and get back up, and at one point she was even hit with 50,000 volts of electricity and still just continued on, barely even phased. If that isn't superior resilience, I certainly do not know what is. 50,000 volts of electricity, that's a lot of volts. That's more than this many. It's a lot. Number 6. Size altering. During the events of Trinity Volume 1, Cheetah joined up with the Dark Arcana, a group of villains each representing a card/character from the tarot, and imbued with godlike powers. Cheetah herself represented the Star, and had many additional abilities at this time, including size altering. At one point, a giant cheetah rampages through a city where it seems like she is also kind of turning the civilians into cheetah-like creatures themselves. So there's a lot going on in Trinity. There's a lot of souped up villains. It's insane. Number 5. Gun proficiency. For those who are unaware, Cheetah was also part of the Suicide Squad for a short time. Her time on the squad was brief, but during it we got to see another side of Cheetah, a villain who usually actually operates alone. We also got to see her working alongside a team, and we got to see her armed in a way that she isn't normally. Cheetah usually prefers hand-to-hand combat, fighting with her claws, her teeth, and her tail. But during her time on the squad, we also learned that she can do a much more than just tear you to bits with her bare hands. She can also mow you down with firearms as well. What? While it remains somewhat of a mystery as to how she acquired such skills with firearms during her time as an archaeologist, it's fair to assume that Waller may have loaned out someone to train up her squad in using various firearms, including Cheetah, making her even more deadly, and showing some growth since her introduction. I remember an issue where she actually just ran from gunfire. Well, I mean, she isn't running now. She's causing it. She's causing the gunfire. Number 4. Magical Bite. Cheetah's fangs aren't all just show. She often uses them to tear people apart so she can feed on their blood. Her bloodlust comes as a punishment from the tree god Kartaga, who grants Cheetah her powers as her husband. Because Barbara was not a virgin when she became his bride, she now has a bloodlust to satiate as a result. Not that this bothers her. In fact, she seems to revel in it. But beyond using her fangs to help her feast on human and animal blood and flesh alike, she has also proven just how tough and powerful her bite can really be, because her powers are also magical. So because her powers are also magical, she can actually break Superman's usually impenetrable skin with her fangs. Bullets might bounce off of him, but Cheetah's teeth manage to just sink in just fine due to her ability's connection to magic. Number 3. Flight. Back to the Trinity event, as I said earlier, Cheetah was granted a great many additional powers as a result of this event. Another one that proved useful was her power of flight. It's weird, but even the idea of a flying cat without Cheetah's insane bloodthirst and strength or any of that just kind of terrifies me. It's already frightening enough when your cat pounces on your toes in the middle of the night. Imagine if it could just launch itself onto you out of midair at any time. Ugh. We see Cheetah flying around with her fellow Dark Arcana pals a few times in Trinity Volume 1. Also seeing her pal around and link up with Joker is another terrifying image we get from this series. Yeah, Joker's there too, and he's also crazy powerful. Number 2. God Killer. During Wonder Woman Volume 5, during the Year of the Villain story arc, we saw Cheetah wield the God Killer. This is a sword that can transform into any weapon its user sees fit. It is one of the only weapons powerful enough to kill a god. It can't be destroyed and can also absorb energy that is directed at it, dealing it back with double the force. In Wonder Woman, Cheetah uses the blade to kill Aphrodite, dealing one of the greatest blows to her foe Wonder Woman. Without Aphrodite, there's a lack of love in the world, which provides almost a lack of guidance and motivation to Wonder Woman, who often fights in the name of love. It kind of also makes her super depressed for a little bit, like she's like losing her motivation, doesn't know why she's fighting, and this doesn't just threaten her, but it also affects the entire world, as the loss of love affects everybody. Number 1. Cursing Claws. Cheetah's fangs and claws aren't just deadly because they are sharp and can tear you apart, they have also been shown to curse those that they come in contact with, sometimes. In the New 52, we saw her use them to cast a magical curse on Superman, which transformed him into a ferocious, cheetah-like creature. Barbara was able to use him against the Justice League as a result of this transformation. We also saw a version of Cheetah in Justice League Doom cause Wonder Woman some grief with her curse abilities. She didn't transform Wonder Woman into a cheetah, however, but she did cause her to hallucinate, making Wonder Woman see cheetahs at every turn, believing that innocent people around her were actually the ferocious spotted creatures themselves known as cheetahs. She's like, is that a person? It's a cheetah. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you learned something new about Cheetah. Who are some of your favorite Wonder Woman villains? Is Barbara your favorite version, or is there another you prefer? Are you excited for the new Wonder Woman 1984 film? Let us know in the comments below. I personally am super hyped, and I am contemplating setting up a Cheetah cosplay shoot involving some body paint to commemorate one of my favorite feline villains. Whee! All the cats, all the cosplay, yay! If you are as excited as I am about Cheetah, be sure to show some love by giving this list a thumbs up. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.